Want to join the military? You got to have a security clearance. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to update you guys with a video. I am currently 45 days out from ship out, and I got a phone call yesterday about my security clearance. I was a bit kind of thrown off by it because I was under the impression that I'd already got my clearance. So I was a little taken back by what I heard. But I wanted to talk to you guys about security clearance and actually what that is and what all they do to conduct the security clearance. You mean I have to have a security clearance to join the Air Force? That's right. So what is a security clearance? A security clearance is a means or way of determining the eligibility for access to classified information or facilities. And so that means if you're joining the military, you have to basically be proven that you are reliable, that you actually have character and integrity, that that the military can trust you, but not only the military, that the United States of America can trust you. So yesterday I got a phone call from a third-party private investigation team that was conducting my security clearance. And to my surprise, I was kind of thrown off because I wasn't expecting it, but I had about an hour and 10-minute conversation with this security clearance investigation team, and it was pretty extensive. I was a bit surprised, thrown back by it. If you've gone to MEPS or you're in depth like I am, this is basically kind of the same information that you had to give at MEPS. The almost verbatim paperwork and questions that were being asked when you're up there, they do this over the phone, except these people are a private investigation company that are following up with the information that you've given them. They're going to ask you pretty much everything that you have said, from when you first started with your airman application to all the information that you've given to MEPS. They're confirming that everything that you said was true. And in my case, that's exactly what happened yesterday. I had a lady call me, and we pretty much talked a long time about everything from my history. And so that was pretty scary a little bit because I was not expecting what she was going to ask, and she was actually a lot more in depth than what I thought she would be. So once you meet with your recruiter and you first start filling paperwork out, you're going to go from one who is interested in joining the military to one who is actually a recruit in that process. And so the very first thing that he's going to have you do is fill out a Air Force Airman application. In that application, you're going to have a lot of stuff that you're going to need to fill out. Now remember, in this application itself, it says this is the start of your personal records. And they mean that. And the reason is because this information that you're going to fill out is going to be with you all the way through. This information is going to determine your security clearance and your eligibility to even have a security clearance. So in this packet, I wanted to go over it. 6 to 7 pages you're going to have to fill out, because when you do conduct your interview for your clearance with the third-party investigation, they're going to follow this almost line by line to make sure that what you put down is consistent with what you gave and what you followed through with MEPS with, as well as what you're going to continue through the military with. So at the very beginning of this process, you fill out, they want to know your current name. Then they move on to residency, history, and contact information. They want to start with your most recent residence to the last residence up to 10 years. They want a detailed timeline date because they're going to follow up everywhere you went on that and determine that you've been where you said you've been. And so for me, I've lived at 2 places in the last 10 years, so I only had 2 residencies to put down. But they want to know the start date, the move-out date, the move-in date, the end date, all the way to present. Next, they're going to ask about your marital status and dependency status. They want to know if you're married, single, divorced, and about your dependencies. They want to know their names and their birth dates. They want to know all the information. So remember, this information does matter, because everything that you tell your recruiter, it's going to be sent to MEPS. MEPS is going to confirm it, and they're going to send this paperwork to the third-party investigation. And from there on, that is going to be with you the rest of your time there. Next thing in your application is going to be law violation history. They want to know all the offenses that you've had. If it's been speeding tickets or anything, be honest, because they will find it out. They have access to that information, and they can pull up records. And so they'll know if you're lying about those things. So be honest, because it will haunt you and carry you wherever you go. Let your recruiter know when you go to MEPS. Tell MEPS, be honest. Let there be a consistency within everything that you say. Otherwise, it will find you out. So the next thing on the application is employment history. And on the paper, it says, enter all employees or employers from age 16 to present or last 7 years, unless employed less than 2 months or paid under the table. So you need to list your employment. For me, I had 2 jobs that I put on there. And within those jobs, they want to know your start date, end date, why you ended, did you quit, were you terminated, what is going on with that. They want to look at your character and your integrity. For me, this was an important thing because there was a discrepancy with mine. And I'm still kind of in the process of figuring that out. I talked to my recruiter about it. He said I'm good to go. It's very small compared to most things. So I'm still working through that because there was a discrepancy within my dates and within the stories within my job. So I'm really not too sure about it, but I'm in the process of waiting on it. But be honest about it because they're going to find it out. And they really want to know. So just let them know. Just give them the information that they need so that you can move on in the process. Next in the application, they want to know about relatives and associates. So within that, they ask about your spouse. They ask about your natural mother, your natural father, the relationship to your cousins, your brothers, your sisters, your stepbrothers, your stepsisters. They want to know everything about your family. And the reason is they want to know that if you have any type of connections with foreign enemies or things as such. And so they will do the investigation. They knew actually when they pulled my stuff, they knew about my father. They knew where he was from. They knew everything. They knew everything about my mother and all that stuff just from pulling up the information. They will find the information out. They just want to know that you're honest. So I highly recommend that you be honest about that because this came up in my interview with the private investigators. The next thing on the application, as well as the interview with the third-party investigator for your security clearance, is they want to know about personal references and other associates, meaning they want to know your neighbors. They want to know those who have lived near you, those who have saw your character, your integrity. They want to know about you. And because of that, if you put them down as your references, they're going to call them and they're going to ask them about you, about your character, about what they know about you so that they confirm that you of astute character and that you are a person of integrity. And the reason is because it's very important, because if you get in the military, you have to be trusted. You're going to be entrusted with a lot of confidential information and you have to be honest. And so they want to know about you. And so because of that, they do their homework and they make sure that you are of good character. So a side note about references, I would highly recommend that you contact the references that you put on your paperwork and you let them know that you put them down and that they're going to be getting a phone call from an investigation company that's going to ask questions about you because you're joining the military. That may be awkward because people are going to be like, whoa, am I in trouble? What did I do? Just let your references know it's nothing about them, it's about you, and they want to know about you. So inform them so that they can have a heads up to answer the phone call, because if they don't, it could slow the process down. So you might as well let them know. And lastly, the last thing that my private investigator had asked about me in order to grant me security clearance was about my relationship to others who have been outside the country, other foreign alliances, anything as such. Do I have any connections with people outside the United States that they could actually hold me to, that they could squeeze information out of me from? So they really want to know that about you because you could put not only yourself in jeopardy, your family in jeopardy, but you could put the United States of America in jeopardy. So they need to know that you don't have any foreign alliances, that you're not tied into any other negligent things, because if you could, it could be bad for you, but it also could be bad for your country. So be honest about that. Go back, do your homework, look into all of it, because the more honest you are about it, the easier it's going to be for you to get your clearance. Guys, I hope you found this video helpful. This has been my experience through this. I've actually had to research and do my homework on it, because I was kind of taken off guard when I had a phone call from the private investigator, because it had been some time since I filled all that information out. It had been almost a couple months since I've been to MEPS, and so I had expected that everything was fine, but I had got a phone call about that, did the interview. It lasted about 60 minutes, 60, 70 minutes, give or take. It was very thorough. My advice to you is that you just be honest with them. Just tell the truth, like you did at MEPS. And if you do that, things will go well for you. If you lie about it, you should be afraid because it may not go well from you. You may not get your security clearance. But for me, I'm still in the process waiting. I don't know how long it takes for me to hear back or if I do hear back. But I will keep you guys updated about what's going on with me and my clearance and those things right now. I leave July 16th. I ship out, so I'll head up to MEPS July 15th to Knoxville, Tennessee, and that's where I will basically be doing the whole process again and then shipping out the following day. But if you would like this video, subscribe to my channel if you want to walk with my family and I through this process, and comment down below if you have any questions about this whole process, about the security clearance, about things that I've gone through, experience. I would be happy to help you out and let you guys know. But again, like this video, and until then, aim high.